What's going on, everybody? It's Ivan, aka Cosplay. Today, I'm going to be doing a breakdown on the Luffy cosplay. Let's get into it. Added to the Grand Line. Netflix's One Piece was a show that really surprised me. Now, within my anime isms, I do know of stuff like Promised Neverland, Death Note. I watch subs, I watch dubs. One Piece was one of those animes that just seemed too daunting. I never really got into, but for some reason when it came to the Netflix portrayal, the Netflix adaptation of the show, seeing Inaki's portrayal of Luffy, I really resonated with the character, just having like a bit of a bubbly, naive, optimistic attitude, always in good spirit all the time, always caring about friends and family. It was something I related to a lot, so I definitely wanted to bring this character to life. I'm so happy I got to do so. Starting off from the bottom up, we got the shoes of Luffy. Now in the anime, they are sandals or chancletas, but in the Netflix adaptation, they've adapted to shoes. So one of my favorite parts of the costume, I'm so incredibly proud of how these came out. The shoes were some knockoff Uggs I bought on Amazon. Again, in the show, they're a leather custom-made shoe. I was trying to source something similar, didn't have enough time to, so these were the next best things that I could find, which are a slipper boot kind of thing. So I went ahead and added craft foam detailing around here. You could go ahead and do leather, and also added in, you could see elastic inside the shoe. That's because when I put these on for the second time, I actually broke the craft foam. I'm pretty sure if you use leather that won't happen, but just in the case, at least add some elastic behind the stress points when you're putting on and taking off the shoe. There goes the shoes for Luffy. Incredibly proud with how these things came out. Moving on from the shoes, of course, we got Luffy's iconic pants. These are just a pair of $10 jeans or $15 jeans I got from Walmart. Cut the jeans to length, added a little mop looking pieces to the bottom, rope in the top. The bottom pieces right here, these were pretty simple to do but took a little bit of a while. This is just some basic thread or yarn. I was going to sew the thread on, but as you could tell, sewing this thing, whether it's hand stitch or sewing machine, it's not gonna be fun. So I went ahead and just hot glued all these strands on here. This was about 70 strands of thread total, all around 140 strands each that I had to cut out for the legs. Now we have one of my favorite pieces that I'm most incredibly proud of in terms of craftsmanship and just getting this thing done. Luffy's iconic vest. I originally downloaded a template from NDLR Workshop. I believe that's the ad. You can find it on Etsy and Instagram. I'll go ahead and leave it in the description down below. I came across this template. It was extremely accurate to the show. Everything from the pattern to the sewing lines to the hemlines to the way everything stitches and sews together. Extremely accurate to the show. I just didn't have the time, and overall just looking at that pattern was a little bit daunting. I wanted to go all custom made and I wanted to do this cosplay proud. 1 hour. The midnight before Anime NYC, which was the convention I debuted this cosplay at, within 1 hour, took NDLR's workshop pattern, simplified it so it was way easier, cut it, hot glued the hem edges like so, and sewed some of the pieces on. I also added in some detailing you can see here and some stitching just to make it a little bit more accurate to the show so it's not too plain looking. I'm also really happy with the fabric that I have on this. This came from Joann's, as well as the buttons came from Joann as well, which are pretty accurate to the show. Good shape, good sizing. So for Luffy straw hat, there are many different things you could go and buy. You could go on Amazon or eBay, buy a knockoff straw hat, something that reminisces of One Piece. But me being me, trying to be as accurate as I possibly can. Originally, I went and purchased Netflix's One Piece straw hat. This hat was given out at a few events for Netflix's One Piece leading up to the show's premiere. This hat is great. By no means is it accurate to the show. It's just a simple straw hat. Has more of an accurate color versus the yellow one that you see a lot of. But yeah, this is Netflix's One Piece hat. My head is about 23.5, 24 inches. This hat's a little bit snug on me. It doesn't really fit on me correctly. I do have a bigger head, so it does not fit right. It doesn't contort on my head at all. It's just, it's not, I don't feel good while wearing this hat basically. So I couldn't settle for less. We had to upgrade. That comes in, much props. I believe his name is over on YouTube. They had this amazing, very simple template for Luffy's hat based on the Netflix's adaptation of One Piece. I'm not going to go too into detail on how I created the hat. You could go ahead and check the original tutorial for that. So this hat was completed. I went ahead and hit it with some white plasti dip to seal and lock everything in. Then I went ahead and just used brown shoe polish to stain the hat. I didn't paint it or spray paint or weather it or do anything. Just the different layers and wash washes of brown shoe polish, and it got a pretty awesome look to it. This is one of those things where I could go over it and dry brush a bit more layers of paint, but I'm really happy with how this thing came out. Strapping, you could just get some strapping from Walmart or Michael's or Joann's, just put in leather lace. This hat definitely fits a lot better than the previous hat that you could purchase, and also it was a lot cheaper because I already had the foam. It was good to go. Yeah, this hat is freaking awesome. The fact that it's made out of just foam, craft foam sheets is insane. And the beautiful thing about creating the hat yourself is that you can make it your own. If you want to add some extra stitches on top, like in the anime when it gets repaired, if you want to add battle damage to it, a different paint job, you could go ahead and have free will to do it. That's the beautiful thing about creating these crafts and these cosplays, is on top of us recreating stuff from, let's say, the show, you could definitely have a little bit of freedom and make it your own. Thank you all so much for checking out the breakdown on my Luffy cosplay from Netflix's One Piece. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all learned something. I had a blast creating this. This is something that looks really simple, but has a lot of little details in it that I really appreciate a lot, and I was proud to bring this thing to life. With all that being said, my fellow Straw Hats, we're headed to the Grand Line. I'll catch you all there. Peace out. Woo!